Alright, time for another DrivePhysics.com, debatephysics.com also. But, yes, it really is all just fake news. Trolls, sock accounts, bullshit, wasted time, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so, a couple of comments. I guess, I'll give Lost Beagle some fair conversation in between these two completely bullshit comments, So whatever this guy is, random user and bulb ahead are obviously just fakers. So they both link to an old video that Dispar re-uploaded. So they link to the original source. Why would they do that? Just happen to. Okay, and so, they're junk videos, so I'll go through this whole conversation again. And I've already been over it and over it. These are the free momentum experiments. And they're all filmed in Shitavision. There's not one clinical, clean, well done experiment in the lot. And it's free momentum. Okay, so, it's a rather extraordinary thing you're doing, creating free momentum in a direction. And you should account for that, with a really good experiment, not a piece of shit experiment. All right. So is there a conspiracy going on, objects moving in opposite directions? So it's just this crap about somehow when it's going the same way, the experiments agree, or my side wins, and you just destroy momentum. And you conserve momentum. You conserve momentum and you destroy the kinetic energy. But whatever, we'll get into that. So I just, fuck this bullshit though. It's just, these fake newsers, just disgusting that people can do this shit. That there's not some sort of accountability internet. They really should have a choice. The two internets could be parallel, and you could just have one that had assholes on it and the other one doesn't. You could just choose the button. I don't want assholes on my internet. Oh, okay. But no, they won't provide us that choice. So the bulb head guy, here's a link to a couple of, and they're just, like I said, the same exact ones that Dispar uploaded. So then he says, you are completely wrong about Newton. So that's just a lie. You didn't write about kinetic energy or work, and I don't think there was a good work energy theory back then. It's just idiotic. You don't have to talk about work to know what energy is. So what is it? What do you think work? What do you think work is? Work is something different than momentum or action or movement. What the fuck do you think work is? It's just ridiculous. These word games they play. But he knew that mv squared was conserved in elastic collision. So you can keep saying it. Then why did he say twice the force, twice the velocity? If the force doesn't have the extra energy, where does it come from? You can't say mv squared and then say, well, the force is m squared, or v squared. It doesn't work that way. The force has to be the thing causing the energy. Basically, you're saying that there's 4 units of gravity. 4 times the distance, 4 units of gravity. That's what you're arguing, aren't you? So there has to be 4 units of force, don't there? 2 units of force somehow magically makes 4 units of energy? I don't know. What sense does that make? As did basically every physicist in Europe at the time. So that's a big lie. So that's just incredible. Nobody believed it. Leibniz was buried. Nobody. They didn't, he was a pauper. No one showed up for the funeral. Nothing. It's just such a lie. They decisively lost the argument. And he was very clear in opposite directions must be subtracted when considering total momentum. So that's very much a lie. So he wasn't very clear at all. Okay, just a huge, giant lie. His third law is about force. It's about the thing causing the energy. So I'm saying, you're saying that Newton didn't know that force causes the energy. Oh, okay. Not about kinetic energy. Well, again, because yes, he didn't. There's no point. Again, how does this make logical sense? Newton believed that there was this kinetic energy, that things got more and more powerful as you increase the velocity, and then he writes a third law, where he knows there is no equal and opposite reactions. That every time there's uneven masses involved in any explosion, I'll get more energy in the lighter things and less energy in the heavy things. Every single fucking time. Why would he write the third law? Alright, that's very clear. I mean, it's not even worth reading this tripe. It's so bad. And the sentence you are referring to, which Newton wrote down below the second law, he wrote that because that's pretty much how force works. So again, I mean, I don't understand. So the force doesn't have the energy. Somehow the force doesn't have kinetic energy. And somehow it gives it half, you know, the energy, and somehow the thing makes the other half. What a pile of shit. I don't know why you keep asking that as if it contradicts kinetic energy. Well, I think it's a direct contradiction. Twice the force, twice the velocity, 3 times the force, 3 times the velocity. There's no room for an mv squared there. There's no room for a v squared. Force is not energy. I think that's what everybody else thought. So if there was a word energy back then, I think Newton was basically saying, yes, force causes quantity of motion. That the two things are proportional. The force is proportional to the quantity of motion. Alright, so you're just a liar. Fuck you. So thoroughly dead, really, these shitheads pretending to be somebody else when they're just the same old turd. Farley. Sock account 4. Who knows? Just disgusting. Anyway, so here's this stupid beetle guy. Anyway. It'll clear up some confusion. I don't know who Simandan is, nor have I ever seen any of his channel up till now. So he just randomly showed up at the same time. I can see why you think I came from there, since he's a relatively big channel and made that video of you recently. One of your videos came up in my feed. I have been subscribed to your Momentum channel for 17 years and watched a lot from years 2007 to 12 or something. I remember you and Zomgits doing live streams. Yeah, we didn't do too many together. I did a lot of outdoor walking and walking videos too. I do believe in evolution. I think he edited this. It doesn't say it was edited though. Anyway, microscopy is a hobby of mine, and I enjoy looking at the oldest life forms. So I don't know what that exactly relates to, whatever it is you were talking about. Like, you know, there's some revolutionary finding that anthropologists need to accept as some sort of new science. So I'm just sort of doubtful that there's any revolutionary information. You know, they found tinfoil hats. You know, I don't know. Anyway, fine. Very good. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that's it, really. No comments. So we'll go over to the Dispar Lab bullshit. And it's just such shit. I mean, it's an incredible shit. All right. Yeah, it just gets worse and worse. It's not like these guys get better at making content. They get worse. Alright, so a couple of videos. Now, I didn't even watch the silly clay video. He's redoing the dropping, you know, denting clay with round objects. I mean, fuck that. And then the other is foam. So why doesn't he drop the funny shit, the other shape shit into the clay instead of dropping round things into the clay? Oh, because that won't be to his advantage, I guess, pretty clearly. So again, this whole denial that different substances absorb energy in different ways, and they clearly yield to velocity in different ways. So high velocities can destroy some materials quite readily, and slow, even force, they can withstand quite a bit of that. So there's about 9 million examples of things that are capable of doing this, you know, that have a resistance and a weakness. And clearly they're just trying to take advantage of that to lie about reality, because that's what they need to do. Alright, so this is the crappy video where he does this air cart crap. So this is a re-upload of an old crappy video. So why he chose to upload this video, you got to ask the question, why the fuck would he do that? It's so bad, right? So it's this terrible video quality. It's a terrible camera angle. The weights are bizarre numbers. So first the guy does one mass into two mass, right? I mean, a two mass into a one mass. And instead of using those two carts, he uses two different carts, okay, with weights of 2 to 3. Why would you do that? You have the one mass to two mass ratio. Why would you mess with a 2 to 3? You know, a 1 to 1.5. Why would you play with that? Why would you use numbers like that? Oh, I know why. It's because it didn't work when he did it with the 1 to 2, kind of clearly. But anyway, just terrible quality video. So you can't really see shit, you can't judge shit, you can't measure shit. There's no point in them putting tape measures on these air tracks because nobody will let you see the tape measure. They have a green screen, all this crap, and this is the 60-second videos thrown together. The guy has to be reminded to reset the timers every time. It's just absolute crap. And this is their proof. Alright, so we'll just do the drawing part. Alright, and so it's this little marginal difference in this case because these aren't very different masses, you know. So they really should do the 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 ratio. That would be the ideal. And then they could show this creation of twice the, 3 times the energy. 100 in, 300 out. But just absolute crap. So let's do the other experiment while I'm here. So this is, like I said, instead of finding a better video, he re-uploads one of the shittiest videos. In terms of any analytic quality, there's just no way to judge what the fuck that was. So then the cunt, he plays me telling him all the things wrong with his last video. But he really doesn't fix anything, okay? So because he's an idiot. So he's doing these stupid experiments. It's all crap. And so look at how this last one's filmed. It's just a joke. So look, this one, you can see the two bowls. Everything's the same camera angle. Right? Can you see this? I mean, it's just amazing. And then when he does it my way, look what it turns into. Nothing's the same. Is that it? Just want to make sure I have the last one. Yeah, that's the last one. Alright. So he starts it. Let's do the start. And you can see that one of the levers... Oh, that is unfortunate. Why does it do that shit? I didn't ask you to do that. Let's see, I can hit this button, right? Yeah. Well, let me get to the right place in this video. No, it's too far back, right? Yeah. Alright. See, I made the point that you can't start it, okay, with the side that has the uneven masses on it, because especially if the thing's bent. So I pointed out that his old lever was bent. He had too much weight on it. And then what does he do? He makes the lever twice as long at least and puts lighter weights on it, which, well, frankly, that doesn't fix the bending problem, retard. So why didn't you use the same stick as before? Why do you make it longer? It only just makes it, you're just guaranteeing that it's going to bend again. Alright. It should be the next clip, right? Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, these bowls shift positions. Alright, so it's there. That's the start. Okay, so this is the one where he's starting it the right way. That is the two... No, this one's wrong too. Oh, come on, I watched this before and it seemed... Yeah, see, he's got the wrong... This is the one mass... So I don't see the mass on here. I don't know what the fuck that is. So you can see in this video, the one mass is way out here. I don't know what this is here at all. I can't figure that one out. So, I don't know what to do with that. I thought the last clip was the one. So maybe it's this other clip. where he does it right. And clearly when he does it, it's right, but it's wrong, but you can't see anything. Alright. So they're both called the same thing, so it's not very helpful. Alright, YouTube isn't helping either. Yeah, no, this one's got a mass on this end, and this one's halfway up, so he started that one wrong. Maybe I just draw it. I really want to get to that beginning, because you can really see it in the beginning when he's holding them, that before he starts them, that they don't look the same at all. I mean, okay, so here's the image. So this one and this one, he's claiming these are the same angles. So he's lifted this weight the same amount as this weight. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that well enough. So the weight over here, up here, he's claiming is the same height as this weight. And it seems obvious it's not. The angle here just seems a lot less from the horizontal. This looks like a hugely increased angle. But you can't make a real comparison because the camera is changed. Look at the size of the boxes are different. These things are a different size, these boxes. Everything's out of place. These bottles are in different places, so it's not, he changed the background in between the two experiments. So you really can't make any judgments about what else got changed here. Can't even see this little stick here that he's got the pivot on. You can't tell if that's in the same position. It's up here over here. So here's the line here, and here's the line here. Okay, and yeah, and I'm going to argue this angle is a hell of a lot less than this angle. Hell of a lot. Alright, so you could see it right away. I mean, right away I predicted, before I played it, I said, well, this one's going to start going really fast, because that's a higher angle. So you can see it catch up. The other one he starts first. So let's play it. Alright, so that one he let go of first. So it's already moving, the top one. And then the bottom one catches up real fast and goes zooming past it. So it's down at the bottom now, and the other one hasn't even gone 3/4 yet. So this was bullshit. Alright. So just bullshit. I mean, it's junk. This is what they're saying, oh yeah, we're gonna prove with this crap. So write the paper with this crap, and let's go see it. Let's take it to the authorities and see if they can see that angle problem. Alright, the peak angle there is a little bit out of the corner of the bowl. And this one's way below that. So obviously one of them had more energy in it at the very beginning. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And they just keep doing it. So every fucking time they gotta keep cheating. And then they expect me to keep going back to these crappy videos to have to point out cheat, 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 cheat. Alright. So leave us draw. Okay. So the weird part is this whole thing with the rate at which these two pendulums swing. They're trying to claim that somehow the law of the lever isn't the law of the lever, that somehow it's broken because somehow the oscillations get to be different. But there's no explanation how the oscillations could possibly be different. What would cause that? And it certainly doesn't prove kinetic energy in any way whatsoever. It proves that the law of the lever might be a few degrees off or something. Somehow it's not as clear as it seems to be. That 1 unit of distance, 2 units of distance, half the mass is exactly the same force. Somehow it's not perfect. Somehow. But they're just vaguely referencing the somehow. And it certainly doesn't prove kinetic energy. So if they put the weights where the where the velocities and masses would match kinetic energy wise, that is the same kinetic energy on both sides, it won't balance at all. They're just such conniving, lying sacks of shit. So this experiment, like I said, this is the Professor Lewin faked experiment. Okay, but I showed it over and over. So we've been over this so many times. All right, and so let's just go over the principle. So they're saying that you can move a cart with 100 momentum, crash it into a 2 mass. The 2 mass will leave, okay, with 133 momentums. All right, and if I made this a 3 mass, it'll be 150. So let's do that just for fun, because it makes it even more obviously silly. And I will get 50 as a rebound. All right, so I got 50 going this way, I got 150 going that way. Like an explosion, clearly that's 200. So I put 100 in, I got 200 now moving in the universe, inside the balloon, let's say. So I put 100 in the balloon, now I have 200 pushing on the balloon. And now somehow I'm going to lose it again when they come back together, but this isn't a pendulum, so they're not going to come back together. So obviously I'm saying, yes, that's free momentum. You can't make free momentum in a direction, because then I can just do the experiment again, and then again, and again, and again. I'll just keep increasing the amount of momentum I'm creating. All right, so my simple argument is yes, you crash a 1 into a 1. Okay, what do you get? Okay, you get a complete transfer. 100% goes here, and you have 0 here, right? So I make this a little bit heavier, right? So it's a 1 plus a little bit, right? Well, what's your expectation? It's a little bit heavier, all right? So you're thinking, hey, it can't put all of the energy in because it's too heavy. It can't do the Newton's cradle thing now. I've broken it because it's not the same amount of mass. And a heavier mass is now going to have to convert the energy. It's going to have to take the velocity that came in here and convert it into a different velocity here, and that's not going to work out too well. So here I'm going to get less than, okay, not more momentum. I'm going to get less momentum. I'm going to get like 99, you could say, percent, and then I get 1% going this way. Just 1%, okay. Makes perfectly good sense. I got 99 going forward and a little bit rebounding. So I make it a little bit heavier. Okay, do the same thing. 100 in. Okay, let's just say, okay, now you're going to get 80 out this way. All right, and you're going to get the other 20 back as a reflection. So this is sort of like just thinking about throwing something at something, like a tennis ball at a wall. If the wall doesn't move, I get all the energy back, right? Let's say an ideal tennis ball. A real tennis ball is only 70%. You only get 75%, I think, of the energy back. So they're pretty dull, considering. I mean, that's a pretty big loss. 25% of the energy is lost. But anyway, so you throw it. If the wall doesn't yield, you get everything back. If the wall moves, you're getting less back. There's no way you're going to get the same energy back if the wall moves. And it's just that principle in reverse here. So you can't make free momentum. You can't hit the wall and it goes faster or as fast or has as much energy as, and then you all get a full reflection. How can I get a full reflection if the wall took my energy? If I throw the ball and the wall moves, I can't get it to bounce back. So that's their theory, that I could go all the way up to something of some unknown weight, all right, just big mass, okay, and I hit it, and this will leave with 199%, okay, of the momentum. So I put 100 in, I get 199% going this way, and I get 99% going this way. So they actually think this experiment will happen. I put 100 in and I get 300 out in the terms of how much energy I now have in the system, objects moving. And as I pointed out, there's no canceling, so you can't cancel energy. And so if these things were to crash into each other, right? So we're back to if we did the pendulums, a 3 mass hitting a 1 mass, their theory is, okay, that this could have 150 momentum and this could have 50 coming in this way. So we have a total of 200, and only 100 pops out of the collision. And the simple argument is, if only 100 comes out of the collision, the other 100, because 150 plus 50 is 200, the other 100 has to be in heat. That's the argument, that when, if I crash the two steel balls into each other and I don't allow them to reflect, then they burn a piece of paper. That fact means I'm going to use it. I'm going to convert the energy into heat. Well, how the hell can I convert the energy in heat, get 100 out, then the 100 comes back in, it makes 300 again, and then I make them hot again? Come on. Can't happen. Doesn't happen. So it's junk. It's a junk. It's impossible. It's theoretical garbage, okay, this free momentum thing. So again, they can keep showing you these little contrived, crappy cart experiments. They're the only experiments that demonstrate this nonsense, right? So I do the ballistic pendulum, I can't make free momentum. So they'll never show you a ballistic pendulum collecting more than just the momentum. No more. So it's always going to come up 99.94% short of the energy. So it's going to lose 99.94% of the kinetic energy. Every single time I take a 1 mass, a 5 mass cart, add another 5 mass to it, and end up with a 10 mass going half the velocity. Every time I do that experiment, I will never be able to get that 10 mass cart to go any faster. Because if I do, it'll be more free momentum. So I'll always lose half the kinetic energy. There's no way to connect the two objects without losing half the energy. So just think, it doesn't matter whether I make them out of wood, I make them out of titanium, I make them gigantic 10-ton weights. Half the energy, half the kinetic energy has to be destroyed. It's ludicrous. It's silly. It's nonsense. And it's invariant. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big the bullet is. Doesn't matter what I do. I'll never collect the kinetic energy. Just the momentum. Because they know it's free momentum. And then this silly experiment, they sit there and create the free momentum and pretend, oh, it's not a problem. Free momentum, fine. Nah, it's a problem. All right. Again, you just create a system where you could, theoretically, okay, flick your finger at a little mass and just have it keep increasing the mass till you get to the size of an Empire State Building, and you can use the Empire State Building to knock over the Empire State Building. So we'll just have to wait and see, right? We'll have to wait for somebody. Like I said, physicist Michael was supposed to do this experiment. Okay, the 1 mass, 3 mass Newton's cradle. So he bought the materials, built it, and filmed none of it. Said it was too rickety, so he had to make it stronger or something. But we didn't get to see the preliminary results. Nothing. So he's why give up on it? It's a pretty fundamental, critical experiment. Why would he give up on it? I guess it wasn't going his way. I guess that's one reason. Anyway. But the fact I have to explain that you can't put 100 into a system and get 300 out. It's just stupid to think so. Alright, till the next time and such.